What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. This country is a joke. It's time. If you're in Canada and have means of getting out, now is the time to leave. Pack your bags, go to another country. If you're in Alberta, start pushing for independence. If you're in Saskatchewan, start pushing for independence. This country is an absolute joke and a clown show. I don't like acting like the left does whenever they hear about Donald Trump, but now I think this is justified. I think it's more than justified. You have provinces within a country that is completely divided that are talking about independence, separation. They want to leave. They're done. They're fed up. You have the Crown and the courts halting the process that has legally been put in place by premiers to allow citizen-led initiatives for independence. And while all of that is going on, Mark Carney, the clown, breaking Canada to recognize state of Palestine in September. Really? So while you've been on vacation, while we're at record inflation, while we've been bringing in millions of people unvetted, let's just recognize Palestine as its own state. While these people have been flooding our streets, while they've been intimidating our citizens, while they've been committing crimes, while nothing has been done, this is how you know it's all just a distraction so that Mark Carney and his conflicts of interest can do nothing more than steal money out of your pockets. This guy's looking for scorched earth in this country. Enough is enough. You got Ryan Garrettson here. Again, fabulous account. Go follow him on Twitter. I can't say that enough. I don't want this government or this man speaking for me. Carney and his captured government can recognize this all they want, but don't try and claim that all Canadians want any part of this. We don't. This is bringing terror to our country. Keep in mind, these are the same folks who were burning our flag in Vancouver less than, 6 months ago? I'm curious what Pierre's stance on this is going to be. I said in a tweet, make Alberta next, recognize Alberta next. There's real ramifications for virtue signaling like this and doing this. This is where I say this guy's no better than Trudeau. In fact, he's worse. Take a look at this. Donald Trump, again, Ryan Garrettson showing, I'm pretty sure our government knew exactly what they were doing by announcing this. Anyone relying on the government to save you, you better be getting your resumes ready. Donald Trump says, wow, Canada just announced that it's backing statehood for Palestine. That would make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, Canada. What are we doing? Like, what the hell is going on in our country anymore? Take a look at the article from the Clown Broadcasting Corporation celebrating this. Canada plans to recognize Palestine as a state in September. Prime Minister Mark Carney says that Canada will recognize Palestine in September if the West Bank's governing body agrees to make certain commitments. The Prime Minister said that the Palestinian Authority must hold an election in 2026 and commit to other democratic reforms. Preserving a two-state solution means standing with all people who choose peace over violence or terrorism. What's been going on in our streets? Honoring their innate desire for peaceful coexistence of Israeli and Palestinian states and not only roadmap for secure and prosperous future, Carney said during a news conference. He said that Canada would formally recognize the state of Palestine at the UN General Assembly. Carney's announcement came after he spoke to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. I don't care. Former chief representative of Palestine General Delegation to Canada told CBC's Power and Politics that she believes the commitments Carney set out are achievable. The Palestinian people have been living hell for 2 years. They know what they want. They need the opportunity to actually build their own state. Albertans have been living in hell. And I know people are going to say, stop making this about Alberta. Canadians are done. We've had our bank accounts frozen. We've had people put out of work. We've had to fight for jobs amongst those who have visas to be here. And some of them, visas expired. You can't even go out in Canadian streets without getting hit by an 18-wheeler because somebody who's unqualified to be driving it is running it across our country. You've got theft at rampant levels. You've got inflation at rampant levels. You've got 500 immigrants lining up for one job at a job fair, while no Canadians get those jobs. And we're being told they're living in hell? I understand there's a war going on over there, but what about your own bloody people? Like, this is nothing more, like, Ukraine was money laundering. This is nothing more than a distraction to allow Mark Carney to invest and look after those in charge of his blind trust. The Palestinian Authority currently controls parts of the West Bank through Fatah Party. Hamas governs in Gaza. Neither territory has held an election since 2006. Carney said Hamas can have no role in the election he is proposing. He has also reiterated that Hamas needs to realize the remaining Israeli hostages and said a Palestinian state must be demilitarized. The announcement follows similar commitments from other allied countries in the past week. British Prime Minister Starmer said Tuesday the UK will also recognize a Palestinian state in September unless Israel agrees to a ceasefire in Gaza and allows the UN to bring in aid and takes other steps towards long-term peace. So they're trying to make this look like a peace deal. The problem is, and a lot of people are probably going to say, well, Fringe, what's the problem if they're talking about ceasefires and for all of this to stop? Here's the problem. We're going to be importing all of these people into our country. We're going to be bringing them in by the busloads after recognizing them as a state. The UK, they've already done the same thing. They're going to keep doing the same thing. How's that working out for the UK so far, by the way? I'll tell you right now, I've seen other people online saying that they do the same thing, others that have followings. I've jumped on the same bus where, when I'm walking around now, when I encounter those that wave their flags in my face and tell me that I have to see their problems or recognize their problems, I started telling people, get the hell out of here. Go. Get out of my country. You're not welcome here anymore. I've had enough. I think people should start doing this. And people want to say, well, you're racist. No, I'm not racist. I want my culture back. I want my country back. If you want to come here and have a better life, get a job legally, you're more than welcome to do so. That's the pursuit of happiness. But if you're going to come to my country and turn it into the third world shithole that you came from and expect us to jump on board and say, let's wave your flags instead of ours, let's burn our flags, let's shout death to our country, let's welcome all of this terrorism and all of this violence and all of these crimes into our country, all of this disrespect. Let's put our own people out of jobs. Let's hike inflation. Let's put these people in trucks that don't know what they're doing. Let's let people out on bail when they're committing crimes because they say, well, I came from my country. This is how we do things over there. You're in our country. This is our Canada, not Palestine. It's not Uganda. It's not Palestine. It's not India. It's not China. This is Canada. And it's high time Canadians took a stance and started saying enough is enough. It isn't racist to love your country. It isn't racist to want cultural identity. It isn't racist to say, shut the doors. And I'll keep in mind, and this is the one thing I've said to people during the federal election, people are looking for your votes. People are looking to represent you. They're your best friend when they're looking for those votes. I'm telling you right now, folks, one of the representatives of the House of Commons who's leading the opposition is running in a by-election right now. He's looking for votes. People should start telling him, if you're not going to take a harder stance on this stuff, and I know he's been speaking out about immigration, that Pierre has been speaking out about getting rid of this stuff, but unless you're going to go balls to the wall, unless you're going to say enough is enough, people are going to start losing their jobs. Let's see how much PMs like it when they have to stand in line with a bunch of foreigners to compete for the same job that gives them just enough to squeak by every 2 weeks. Enough is enough in this country. I can't believe Mark Carney is doing this. I can't believe those who virtue signal behind him are okay with this. It just means more protests in our streets. It means more chaos on our roads, more prayers shutting down traffic, more bridges being blocked, more flags being burned, more tax dollars being siphoned out to the welfare state. It's never going to end, folks. And I was serious at the beginning of this video when I said, if you have an opportunity to leave and go somewhere else and assimilate and have your core values looked after, do so. Do so immediately. If you're in Alberta, if you're in Saskatchewan and you can't afford to leave the country, start protesting that you need independence. Ask the government that if they're going to recognize Palestine, maybe they recognize Saskatchewan, Alberta, or any other province that wants to be its own state, and get the hell out of here. If anything, Alberta should be going to Donald Trump right about now and saying, could you please bring in your military, liberate these provinces that don't want to be a part of this anymore, and recognize us as our own state? God, wouldn't that be good? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, I hope this video's earned your subscription. Make sure to share, like, comment, hit the button. It helps, folks, and it helps gets us past censorship. I guarantee you censorship is going to be massive on this video. So help get it out there by boosting it past YouTube's algorithm with a like, comment, or a subscribe. Turn on your bell for all notifications. Join me live each week on the channel for both of our live shows, Unhinged Fringe on Wednesdays, Friday Night Fringe on Fridays, where I'm joined by a plethora of co-hosts. But join me Friday night for Friday Night Fringe with the beautiful Mrs. Fringe as we talk about everything that happened this week in politics, everything we know coming up in the week ahead, as well as your Q&A inside the greatest YouTube community on the platform. I look forward to chatting with you guys each and every week. I most importantly look forward to chatting with you on either of those shows at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, Wednesday or Fridays here on the channel. Don't miss those. They're fantastic. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this stream, or this video. Sorry, we just did a stream. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.